Good morning, everybody. It's been a couple days since I've published, or not published, put out a video. Um, it's been a tough week. Ups and downs, left and rights, not feeling good, not thinking straight. Just a lot of different little things have been going on. That's been a little bit of an issue. It is that, excuse me, it is that time of year where a lot of us suffer from winter blues. There's different medical conditions that cause people to fall into manic depression or depression of one form or another. That, in fact, are with a lot of things that's been going on personally, family-wise. It's been causing various degrees of depression. I worked yesterday morning, Sunday. Today is actually Monday the 7th. I worked yesterday, came home, and found out that my uncle, who lives in Ohio, has corona. And not that I'm depressed about that or upset about that. It does affect me in some ways. But I also sit there and go, well, okay. Don't know how they contracted it because they're homebodies. They're empty nesters, so they don't really get out much. They spend most of their time in their home. I don't know about my uncle, but I know my aunt is one of those I don't want to wear a mask. I don't think it's necessary type people. And now I'm kind of like, okay, are you learning your lesson? I know that's kind of harsh to say, but it's something that I'm starting to get to the point where it's just like, I don't know how many times I have to say it. I don't know how high of a level I have to say it, but our health department, our CDC people are telling us it is a necessity. It's a preventative measure that we need to wear it because of the preventative measure, and people don't want to listen until it hits closer to home. And I don't even know how many people who've had hits closer to home that still don't want to listen. So it's kind of like one of those, okay, yeah, great. We were supposed to go to Columbia for Jerry's eye exam. Last night she was in such a funk, a depressionary state, that she got herself all worked up and all worried about it and overly concerned that she didn't sleep a wink last night and decided she didn't want to do it. At 5 or 6 o'clock this morning. Now, I had an alarm set for 8:30 to wake up so we can get on the road by 9:30, and I was in and out of sleep because of body aches and pains. And I was awake at 6 o'clock in the morning when she said that she's going to cancel the appointment, go ahead and reset my alarm for whenever I want to get up. I almost didn't reset her alarm. In fact, I almost didn't get up. In fact, she even told me to wake her up when I got up so that she can start her morning routine. And I woke her up. I don't know if she did her morning routine or not, but I know when I left the room, she was still laying down instead of sitting up to do her morning water and whatnot. So I'm sitting here trying to do my thing. Back in my mind, I'm concerned about her. I'm concerned about all the things that we need to do because we haven't been doing it because of one thing or another. We haven't even really started the holiday decor. She wants me to do the outside first, which I'm going to try to do here in an hour or two. It's not going to get very warm today. It's only supposed to get to the mid 40s. Thing is, it's not going to get any warmer. So it's like, do I wait until at least it's not so cloudy? I don't know what the weather's like, or should I just push myself to do it? I'm probably just going to push myself to do it because I need to find some way to get into the holiday spirit for both of us. She even mentioned that she's having issues with the holiday spirit because I'm not in the spirit of things, and I'm like, well, how can you be in the spirit of things when there's so much going on around you that you feel overwhelmed and just can't bring yourself to do certain things? I used to be a person who loved to decorate. Maybe that was because of the fact that I didn't have to do the bulk of it. I don't know. I just know I'm getting at that point in my life that it's just like, is outdoor decorations a necessity? Is any of the decorations a necessity for the holidays? I don't know anymore. Some people might say because of the fact I delved too deep into the Norse mythology and old school thinking. That in fact are sometimes when I think about the factors of the truth of Christmas is not what we think it is. I mean, astrology and history and various people who've done studies now know that because of the star of Bethlehem does not show up in wintertime, it shows up in summertime. So Christ had to be born sometime in summertime. So Christmas, the whole aspect of Christmas changed in my brain. And maybe that's part of the problem. I allowed my studies of history and all things of that nature cloud my judgment, I guess. So maybe I shouldn't look at it as Christmas as a celebration of a birth, but maybe a celebration of a season. Because back in old days before Christ was widespread, the bulk of Europe celebrated Christmas as the Yule season, and they had big feasts and big celebrations, and they decorated their homes and whatnot in Yule season type decorations, which were garlands and wreaths and whatnot with holly and thistle and various other winter greens that still growed. Garlands were probably made out of fern or pine or fir trees. The Yule log, which is what we use to represent Christmas, the Christmas tree, was actually something that was burned. It was cured and seasoned to burn for a good day. And even modern day Christmas trees aren't decorated the way they used to be. I mean, my Christmas tree has had country chic. It's had a mixture of ornaments. It's had Star Trek ornaments. It has homemade ornaments, wood ornaments, a variety of different ornaments on it. Nowadays we try to pick a theme and just go with that, but lately our theme has been country chic. I don't have enough decorations or ornaments or even homemade ornaments to make it look like, I guess country chic could be more old school because it's wooden, a lot of wooden decorations. I don't know. I just know I need to start getting into the season, and it's hard to do with the way we've been feeling. I know Jerry tells me that the way I feel affects her But that's a two-way street. The way she feels affects me as well. I don't know, maybe I'm just more sensitive to people's emotions, feelings. I don't know. All I know is lately Jerry's been breaking down a lot. We curled up to go to bed last night and she broke out in tears. Which, unfortunately, when that happens, it breaks my heart. Of course, I have my own holiday, issues and whatnot because of the past. And for I don't know how many years, I've had to either deal with it one way or another, hold it back, or use it for decorating purposes. And a lot of times, decorating purposes, I rely on Jerry for inspiration on where to put the ornament or how to decorate the mantle. The ornament, usually she hands it to me and I'll try to put it someplace to the best of my ability, and every so often she'll either get up and move an ornament or two, or point out where an ornament needs to go to fill a hole or a holiday or anything like that. I'm not used to having so much decorations. Well, I should be by now, but I still sometimes can't get over how much we have. Decor wise, we have 3 or 4 boxes still in the. We have a total of like 20. No. Yeah, about 20 boxes worth of decor. And 4 of those boxes we don't use no more because they're fragile, or they're memories, or they're just something we don't use no more because of one reason or another. I'm actually hoping either after the holiday season, or yeah, probably after the holiday season before we put everything away, or during our setting up the tree, we purge some of the old decorations that we're not going to use, that don't have sentimental value to us. I know we have a fairly good sized house, and a lot of the boxes that I have in the house, we have one for kitchen, we have one for bathroom, we have 2 for mantle and 2 for tree. I even think we have one for dining room, which I don't know if we're going to decorate or not, because the dining room needs to be spruced up, cleaned up a little bit, and there's a lot of stuff that is sitting on the dining room table from Jerry-Ann's party that we just have not gotten in there to deal with. And I think that's one of the reasons why Jerry suggested me using the dining room for a personal office space, so I can spread out all my stuff, so that I'm in there constantly using it and keeping it clean. I know this room, which I don't use, this room I use for my personal space, that I'm not in here as much as I would like to be, is a little disheveled because of storage containers, storage boxes, the beginnings of Christmas presents, and just other things that we need to deal with that we're not doing as much as I want to, because after working a hard day, and my days have been hard, it's hard for me to want, let alone push myself to do anything but sit on my tuchus and watch TV. And I'm concerned, and I'm pretty sure that with a lot of places here in town starting to close their doors because of Corona, um, there might be a chance, and hopefully it won't happen until after the holidays, but there might be a chance that we close our lobby and just do pick up and deliver, pick up orders, basically. I'm pretty sure once people realize that we've closed our doors, they'll either be staying at home ordering through DoorDash, or I don't know if we'll be able to do orders, because that would be a smart idea on Debbie's, on my boss's part. I don't even know who my boss is anymore. Things have changed so much. I still consider Debbie my boss until I hear otherwise. But if we end up closing the lobby and leaving the pickup door open, which means only a X number of people can be in there at a time, I don't know, she'll make it like pickup only, like no walk-ins, basically nobody coming in going, I want to order food and stand here and wait for it. No. But it's not my choice. But if she does something like that, hopefully she'll have at least 2 people, because one person can run the store if it's just the back door only, but a second person would be helpful to get things done and do deliveries. But that's beside the point. I don't know how my day is going to start because of what's been going on in the house. Jerry wants to get up and be up, but the thing is, if she didn't sleep that well, she'll fall asleep easily on the couch. So it's kind of like, do I let her stay in there and be comfortable and sleep? Problem is, if she doesn't get up at a decent hour, like within the next 30 minutes or so, it's going to continue the vicious cycle, because yesterday I went to work and I did not wake her up before leaving because, 1, I knew she had a tough time getting sleep, and 2, I am trying to be respectful enough not to wake her up, even though I want to wake her up to say goodbye, because with the way things are have been going, still are, it's a dangerous world out there. People getting a little cuckoo, and it would be bad for me to not say goodbye to her and something happens to me at work or on the way to work or on the way home. Usually on the way home, I call her up to let her know I'm coming home. Yesterday I didn't, because I wanted to surprise her, even though I got off at my regular time, so it wasn't a big, like, oh, you're home early. It's more like, oh yeah, you're home. I've been trying to do Bible studies and Bible stuff, and I know it sounds like a cop-out or something like that, but as bad as I've been feeling lately, I just sometimes cannot bring myself to read the Bible, because I just feel so that either A, I'll just read the words to myself or whatnot, and it will be meaningless. I will not understand or get the full content or message of what's trying to be transpired. And to me, that's just, if I'm gonna read words without meaning, or something without an understanding or a context that needs to be understood or remembered, I'll just go read Dungeons and Dragons or Harry Potter or something that just has no value except for for entertainment wise. Maybe part of my problem is the fact that I'm not reading enough from the Bible. I'm just doing other things that has no relativity I don't know. The way things have been, I just don't understand anymore. I've gotten to the point where it's just like I'm phasing out. I'm having, excuse me, I'm having issues with the world, basically. The world has kind of collapsed on me, and it's causing me to have family issues or work issues, or just I'm getting back. I feel like I'm falling back into a rut, back into a negative rut, and things are just bombarding me with more and more negativity, and I'm just kind of like, I need some kind of relief is the only word I can think of using. I just, there's too much. I guess the only word I can think of is it's becoming overwhelming. Trying to deal with my own personal issues, trying to help Jerry with her personal issues, trying to get in the spirit of things so we can have a cheerful Christmas. I'm not worried about a ton of gifts. I'm not worried about, I find out yesterday my aunt's coming, so okay, great. I've got to clean off this bed and get this room ready for her, which means I'm probably going to have to move my stuff to a different location because I won't be able to do any of this while she's here. Granted, she usually comes in like either Christmas Eve or the day before Christmas Eve, and then leaves like the day after Christmas. So like she'll be here the 23rd of Christmas, or 23rd of December, and leave like the 26th or 27th. That right there, I mean, I love my aunt to death. I love all my family members to death. But to have her come in and have to deal with mom and her issues because of her and her sisters had problems since my mom was a teenager. That's like 60 years worth of whatever. Then I have to deal with my aunt, and my aunt can be very childish from time to time. That in fact, I don't mind, I don't mind serving my guests and whatnot, but she goes over the top sometimes. Then I have to deal with Jerry-Ann's emotions and her issues and whatnot, and I'm hoping, because my wife's attitude when she has guests change. So I'm hoping when my aunt's here, she's in a better mood, but then she has to deal with mom and me. Then I have my own personal issues. So I got 4 people's issues. Well, 3 people. I count myself as the 4th person. I have issues from 3 different people coming in that's going to be in my home. It's not that I don't want my aunt to come. It's more like, can we be, it's not like things are uncivil. It's just like, I don't know. Sometimes it's hard for me to deal with people. I mean, I deal with people at my job. Then I have to come home. And home life, that's expected. That's just part of being a family. But there are just some times when things are overwhelming that I wish I had an RV to just go camp out in for a while, or enough money to spend a weekend by myself. I mean, I can understand that. I read this. This is gonna seem a little funny. I read in, I don't know if it was Facebook or some other website that I go to a lot just to unwind and see what people are doing. But the article was about the differences between men and women, how women want to cuddle when they're having emotions, and men just want to be left alone. It's true. I mean, for the most part, men want to be left alone when they're emotionally unstable. And I don't mean unstable in the fact that they need to be alone, or they're going to have some sort of psychotic or negative attitude or outburst. Um, I know for me, there's been times where it's just like so overwhelming, and I want to be left alone and don't want to talk about it and just do my own thing to get these emotions out. But Jerry wants to talk about them, and it's like they're my emotions, have nothing to do with you. Just leave it be, let me be. But she wants to talk it out. And then if I come home, whether I'm having a good day or a bad day, if she's had a bad day or she's getting emotional, she wants cuddles and touchy-feely and hugs and some form of physical connection to feel relaxed or at ease or comforted for her emotional situations. And me being the typical man, I'm kind of like, with her, I learned to basically go, okay, sure, let's hug it out, let's talk about it, let's whatever. But for me, it's just kind of like, how do I get her to understand that sometimes it's best to just leave me be, to just do what you got to do and let me deal with my stuff my way. There are times where it's like either one of us, when we break down, depending on the breakdown, whatever it is, depends on how things need to be dealt with. I mean, I'm no teddy bear. I'm more like a prickly porcupine than a teddy bear. I have my moments. I have my soft moments. I have my hard moments. She's the same way. She has her hard moments. She has her soft moments. But she has more soft moments. And I feel for her because right now she's going through a lot of different things that she has not been able to. Basically, things kind of collided in on itself with her, between how she felt when she got home from Texas because of things that we did while she was gone, which I wanted to wait until she got home to talk about it. Mom wanted to do it right there and then. And a lot of times with Mom, and I don't know if this has to do with her declining mental status or what, but it's like if it doesn't get done as soon as she wants to, as soon as she wants it done, she has a issue. And seeing how my mom is starting to act or react to things, I look at it and go, okay, well, now I can kind of understand and see where I get it from on Mom's side of the spectrum. I guess everything else is from my dad's side of the spectrum. I don't know. Dad wasn't around long enough to see his mental decline. And his physiological decline happened so instantly and suddenly. It was, a shocker. But because of all the things that has happened to Jerry Ann in the last 6 months, I can relate because of what happened to me in the past so suddenly. And I know back then I had more people around me to give me advice and support and whatnot. And I'm afraid to give her some advice because I don't want it to be the wrong advice. I mean, I'm there for her. She's afraid for her health because she doesn't want to die at a young age because her mom passing at a young age. I think her mom was around this age when she passed. And she's not looking for an out, basically, like I did. Which makes her the stronger of the two of us, because so many times I wanted an out. Yeah. And then there's the, between her, between all the things that happened to her between July and September. Is it September? Yeah, it was a month before my birthday, so yeah. She's been on a emotional roller coaster ride, and I don't want to sit there and look at it and go, well, now you know how I feel most of the time, because that's just wrong. I can only sit there and have sympathy for her because I know what she's going through. Well, I know a good bit of what she's going through. I mean, I'm glad she's got friends and family members that she can get on the phone and talk to at most of the time. She doesn't want to call her sisters when she's having an emotional issue because they're going through their own thing, and her two besties are either during the daytime busy working because they're both working at school. And I don't know if any of the schools in Florida or Texas have shut down yet. I don't know if they're going to wait until the kids leave for the Christmas holidays so they can decide what they're doing at the schools, whether they're going to stay closed until February. A lot of places that I've heard about closing down so far are either going to stay closed until mid-January or beginning of February before the Valentine's season. I'm not keeping up on that because it's just too depressing. It's getting to the point where it's like, really? We're going to go through the same rhetoric every time this happens. I'm going to go through the same, well, this is what should have happened, or, well, you should have been wearing a mask, or the CDC says this. I don't care. I've gotten to the point where I'm just done worrying about other people and what they're going to do, whether they're going to wear the mask or not. That's their choice. I'm going to wear mine. I wish my aunt and uncle would have worn theirs the whole time. And granted, they don't get out that often. They go shopping, church, things like that. Well, because of my uncle, my aunt had to literally move to the guest room so my uncle could be in quarantine. But the thing is, they live in the same house, so either A, she's going to get it eventually, or B, she's just going to be one of the lucky ones who don't get it because of close proximity to somebody who has it. I understand my aunt does the cooking and does most of the cleaning while my uncle does yard work and construction projects and whatever he wants to do, basically. I don't see how she's not going to get it if she's not going to I don't think she's going to wear the mask around the house or at all. Two, they're going to be in the same basic kitchen, dining area. I don't know if he's going to spend his whole time in the bedroom, or if he's going to spend, because he likes going out onto their new sunroom. That's what they're calling it, sunroom, because it's surrounded by windows, and he gets to sit there and do bird watching and read his books. My thing is, they're up there in age. I mean, my Aunt Sue is almost 80. Mom is in her low 70s, and Uncle Dave, which is her brother, the one who got corona, he's somewhere in between. So they're all up there in age. I don't know. Now, my aunt says that she's going to come up here. My Aunt Sue, who lives here in Missouri, says she's going to come up here for Christmas. She didn't come up here for Thanksgiving because of all the hullabaloo with Corona. Um, Not that I don't want her to come, but personally, between the mess in here and Corona, I would feel safer for everybody if she stayed in St. Louis, because St. Louis County, or St. Louis area where she lives, I've heard about talks about shutdowns and lockdowns, and not recommended. It's now enforced in St. Louis. I think it's enforced in St. Louis that you have to wear a mask when you leave the house. It's getting bad here in Rolla. One of our local establishments, or a couple of our local establishments, have basically canceled out a lot of their live events and closed their doors because of Corona. Now, my local McDonald's has not reopened their lobby because they want to leave the lobby closed until they get done refurbishing it. It's like, didn't they just refurbish it about a year ago? Maybe 2 years ago? I don't know. But I'm concerned that I might not have a job if they do lockdowns again, because of the bulk of our services are lobby. That's why we need 2 to 3 people during the daytime and 2 to 3 people at nighttime on weekends, because of the lobby service. Now, if they close the lobby and leave the pickup door open, we've already got signs on the door saying it's recommended that you wear a mask in the store. I've already been told by my boss that we can't really turn them away, and I'm like, well, if we can't turn them away, don't get mad at me if I don't want to be up front while they're here without a mask, because I've got immune compromised people, and this is the time of year my immunity system is compromised due to allergies and seasonal problems, seasonal health issues, mostly respiratory. And I'll be honest with you, with my respiratory issues that I've been having, it's not that I don't wear the mask, but the mask does cause some minor breathing issues, and anytime I get the chance to step in the back to take it off, to take real good deep breaths to help oxygenate my lungs and whatnot to the best of my ability, it's concerning, because if I start having a mild panic attack because we're getting a lot of people in at once, I start to have even more breathing issues, because I'm almost, I don't want to say panting like a dog, but I'm like breathing shallow, and breathing shallow does not oxygenate your blood, your lungs, that well. But I've considered looking for a second part-time job for 2 different reasons. Lately, it's not enough hours. I mean, last week I think I worked maybe 21 to 23 hours total, and I'm like, that's not enough money at 9:45 now. That's not enough hours or money coming in to cover my bills. And I'm like, either I need another part-time job, or I need a good paying full-time job. And I don't want to leave this job. I really do not want to leave this job due to the fact that it is a good job. Things are changing at the job, which is kind of like, okay, that's happening and that's happening. There's a lot of things that just seem a little underhanded, is the word I used, because, well, it's not a complaint. This is an observation. I'm not complaining about my job. I'm far from being a complainer of, my job, except for hours and finances. my boss, Debbie, and I'm going to say my boss because I consider her my boss. My boss, Debbie's, she has a silent partner, and I don't know nothing about the silent partner. I don't know how that works. But what happened was a lack of communication between the partners and us, the workers. And what happened was the silent partner decided to put an ad on Facebook saying that that our store was hiring. I think I said this before. Our store was hiring a GM. Now, when we communicated with Debbie about this, Debbie knew nothing about it. She had no clue. And when we told her about it, she said, "Don't worry about it. I'll take care of it." And told Lisa, who was practically running the store while Debbie was out for personal reasons, Debbie told us, "Don't worry about it, that Lisa would be the GM if she had any say in it." Well, Silent Partner had already hired a GM under the radar, basically. And I didn't know who the GM was going to be. I just know that I came in Tuesday, there was a new guy in the store, introduced himself. I think Randy was the name. And then, we proceeded to train him like he was just a new worker. I didn't know anything about GM, who was going to be the GM. I didn't know how it was settled, anything like that. Well, come the next day I came in, he was there for a short period of time before he went home. And then one of the coworkers called to check. I don't know why this person constantly calls to check on the store like she is an owner or anything like that. But she called the store and said, "How's that new guy, Randy?" And I'm like, "He seems to be all right. He's more of a cleaner than anything else. He's not really trying to learn any of the necessary information, necessary things to learn." And then it's like, "Oh, well, yeah, he's the new GM." And I just kind of went, "What?" I figured if anything, the new GM would be from a different store that he just transferred from out of state or from one location to another. Because in all the places I've ever worked, you can't be a GM or a manager until you know the store. So it's kind of like, how are you going to be a GM and you don't know nothing about Dickies? Nothing. Not at all. I have a person in my store, Lisa, who knows the ins and outs of the store, knows everything, literally everything. She even knows how to do the ordering if necessary. Not be the GM. And then I heard that Debbie, who had him during the daytime, was trying to teach him how to do everything he needs to know, got on his case because he wasn't learning cash register or block. He barely knows how to do side orders. I'm like, I know more than this guy does about this store, and I got fed up. I just kind of went, no, I'm gonna have to talk to Debbie because I'm not one to willingly train somebody who's going to be over me because he got hired to be over me but doesn't know nothing about the store. It makes no sense whatsoever. Anyhow, I just looked up and realized I've been chatting for 45 minutes. Yeah, I need to get off this and hope to God my phone doesn't have a conniption trying to download this stuff. So, I'm sorry about the ramblings. If you stayed on this long, I'm sincerely sorry. I rambled on because the combination of I have no structured content right now. Consider this a therapy session for me. So those of you who stayed on this long, thank you very much. Those of you who like this this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you have any comments or comments or questions, go ahead and put it in the comment box. I might regret that, but oh well. Freedom of speech. That's all I have to say. You guys have the freedom to say whatever. Just like I have the freedom to basically ignore you. Not that I will, I just won't make comments back. I know my two favorite people on here will make comments for the better. They understand what's going on. They've been on here for a very long time and understand how to read what's going on. So, yeah. Anyhow, if you're not a subscriber and you want to, I would suggest you watch a couple months ago, when things were better. Go ahead and hit the thumb button if you want to join, and then a little bell will pop up, and click on the bell, and the bell will let you know when I put in more videos. Until next time, have a good day. God bless. Bye.